Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Personal Liberty. Why does the media lie about race? Why do they commit fraud to cover up for Barack Obama? It started out as embarrassing and pathetic, but it's moved on to pure fraud and widespread conspiracy. Why does the media allow Obama to give press conferences about the handful of black Americans killed by police officers, but never mention the police officers murdered by black criminals? It happens all the time, but Obama never says a word about it, and the media lets him get away with it. That's his prerogative, but it's the media's job to question him, to point out the inconsistencies, to call him on the hypocrisy and what looks to both police officers and law-abiding citizens as a dangerous double standard that incites violence against police. Why does the media allow Obama to call Tea Party activists bad people, violent, or radicals when there's not one instance in history of violence or anyone recommending violence at any Tea Party rally anywhere? Yet the same media has video proof of protesters at the anti-police rallies that Obama and Attorney General Eric Holder encouraged, screaming in unison, "What do we want? Dead cops." It's all on video. And then when police officers are murdered, the media never assigns any blame to the president. Why does the media allow Obama to give press conferences about the handful of black Americans shot by white people like George Zimmerman or police officer Darren Wilson, despite those cases being rare, but never mention the hourly murder of blacks by blacks, including the fact that 93% of all black murders are committed by blacks, never mention black-on-black store owner crime like the looting and burning in Ferguson, never mention black-on-police crime, never mention the genocide of the black race perpetrated by black criminals in inner cities like Detroit, Chicago, Baltimore, and Memphis. Where are the nationwide protests for the thousands of innocent black lives taken by black criminals? Is there no money or media headlines or political gain in those kind of protests? Why doesn't the media ask the president if black-on-black crime matters to him? If so, why has he never chosen to speak out about it? Why don't they ask Obama to name one victim of black-on-black crime in Chicago this past weekend? Can he name anyone in the past year? Why are their deaths unimportant, insignificant, and anonymous? These are black deaths. Why not ask Obama and Attorney General Holder why aren't there teams of Justice Department investigators and prosecutors assigned to black-on-black murders in places like Detroit, Obama's hometown? Why isn't the same amount of boots on the ground assigned to overwhelm black-on-black crime scenes as aimed towards a white officer like Darren Wilson in Ferguson? Shouldn't the media question why the federal government calls it a hate crime if a white person or a white policeman kills a black man, even if it was in self-defense and the black man had a criminal record or the black man just robbed a store? But there are black-on-white murders every day. One happened to a white Bosnian immigrant driving through a black neighborhood in St. Louis only days after the Ferguson verdict. His fiancée watched him being murdered by a gang of black criminals who had allegedly yelled out, "Kill the white people." Yet there's no hate crime designation for that murder, no civil rights investigation, no federal intervention, no national media headlines, no coast-to-coast protests, no press conferences by Al Sharpton or Barack Obama. Where's the media? Silent. What about Al Sharpton? Shouldn't the media be pointing out that a known racist, rabble-rouser who was allegedly involved in drug dealing, who was filmed negotiating cocaine deals, it was aired on HBO, who was a federal informant doing business with the mob, who tried to destroy the lives of police and prosecutors based on false rape allegations, who owes over $4 million in back taxes, as reported by the New York Times, who's one of Obama's BFF, best friends forever, and has visited the White House 81 times to give the President of the United States advice on racism and race relations. Are you kidding me? Saturday Night Live couldn't make this story up. Where's the media questioning the role of a race agitator and con man, Al Sharpton, hanging out in the White House with the president? What's the difference between Sharpton and a David Duke? Both are racist and haters. Both have made money trying to cause racial division and stir up violence. The only difference I can think of is that David Duke was never involved with the mob, has no background in drug dealing, and doesn't owe the IRS over $4 million. Shouldn't the media be asking Obama why he isn't embarrassed and ashamed to have a man like Al Sharpton step foot in the people's house, the White House? Shouldn't the media be asking what's the difference between white Nevada rancher Cliven Bundy and Al Sharpton, Bundy owed a disputed $1 million in back fees to the government. Disputed. So the government raided his ranch with militarized SWAT teams, airplanes, helicopters, and assault weapons. But Sharpton owes over $4 million to the same government, and there's no raid, no threats, no intimidation, no SWAT teams, no police or assault teams surrounding his New York City headquarters. Remarkably, that same guy, Sharpton, gets to pal around with the President of the United States. That same guy gets to give advice on race relations to the President. That same guy gets a TV show on MSNBC. That same guy makes a living extorting corporations in the name of racism. You see, it was just in the New York Post. If those corporations pay Al Sharpton's organization a consulting fee, he either says nice things about him or he shuts up. But if they don't pay, he organizes national protests against them. Isn't that a mob shakedown? Don't white men with Italian surnames go to prison for decades for the same thing? But a black man involved in the same mob shakedowns gets the red carpet rolled out at the Obama White House? Heck, the president speaks at Sharpton's events, and the media says nothing. Shouldn't the media be asking these obvious questions? Don't police lives matter? Don't white lives matter? Don't black kids slaughtered by black criminals matter? Don't mob shakedowns matter? Doesn't tax fraud on a massive scale, $4 million, by Al Sharpton matter? Apparently none of it matters to the nation's first black president as long as the people committing all this violence, murder, fraud, shakedowns, racism, and tax evasion on a massive scale are black. And the media says nothing. Folks, it's official. We are now living in a banana republic. I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Personal Liberty. See you next week. God bless America and protect us from this group of shysters in the media and in the White House. Bye-bye.